there, everyone. This is Stephanie Bennett again, and thank you for joining me in the Secret Place Psalm 91 here in my little video YouTube channel, a little Devo. I have something today for you that's a little bit different than what I usually give. Usually I'm giving you a book that really feeds my spirit, usually written by a Christian. Today I have something a little bit different. I have a couple of books. One is by Sherry Turkle. I know I'm holding up Alone Together. This is one of her best known books. I use Reclaiming Conversation, another one of her books, in my advanced public speaking class called Speech Performance. She's really fantastic. And another book that I don't have in my hands named Team Human by Douglas Rushkoff. I love these books, and I use them with my students, for my students, as springboards of good discussion and dialogue. This morning I was listening to an interview between Sherry Turkle and Doug Rushkoff. They were on his show, his podcast called Team Human. Team Human is the book that I usually use, I said, for my AI class, for AI and social media class. You may have heard of Rushkoff or listened to some of his documentary films through Frontline on PBS. I think Generation Like, what else? Merchants of Cool. He's got another one. I think it's called Digital Nation, that's either just come out or it's going to come out. In any case, I know these two people. I've spoken at the same conferences with them, and again, love their work. And what they were talking about this morning is so important, and I think so important to our spiritual formation and our thinking about how we use our technologies, like we're doing now with using YouTube and such. The two were discussing the importance of remembering our humanness in this age of digitality, our Metaverse and the augmented reality that's upon us. And they were talking about some of the problems that have emerged with our advanced tech, and not so much the logistics of our problems with tech, but the attitudes that we have with tech. And I loved what they said here, that our tech, our social media, these tech giants want to tell us what's important to use and why it's important to use these tools of technology, but they don't tell us the importance of what we're forgetting, and that what we're forgetting is essential. I think that's so important. What are these things that we're forgetting that are essential? Well, think about it. Think about just some of the things that have changed in your life and mine, even in terms of visiting people, being over at somebody's house, having coffee together or lunch together. These activities, these social activities and communication processes, communication behaviors have started up again since we've gotten to a little bit more normalcy coming out of the COVID couple of years in the past. But we have not bounced back yet. So most of the people I know, and much of what I read, talks about how much, and much of what I'm seeing in town around us, makes life look a lot different, with companies like Amazon delivering all of our goods, whether they're food stuff, vitamins, clothing, toys, books, anything you can want, you find on Amazon. And isn't that wonderful? It's so much more convenient, but it's changed our attitude, our collective attitude toward shopping, right? Our collective attitude toward being out there with others, the messy humans, the frictionless social behavior that we can have on the screen without having to deal with looking into somebody's eyes. This is problematic. You might be thinking, well, maybe, yeah, they're a little bit right, or you're right, I don't really want to deal with people. Dealing with people is a gift of God. God has made us people, and He has created us in such a way that we need to be with each other, face to face. There are also the distractions that we're dealing with. Our social media and our new tech, which isn't so new anymore, but let me just call it advanced tech, introduced so many distractions that our lives can too easily be lost in a sea of distraction. So there is no quiet, very little quiet. And an assault on our solitude is really an assault on our personhood. It's an assault on our empathy, because we are too busy with our distractions to be empathic with others, to think about others and put ourselves in their shoes and go and do something for others, go and do something with others. I think one would think that we would learn how important physical presence is, especially after the deeply isolating years, as I referred to before, of COVID all over the globe. I mean, people feel it. People feel it, and current research points to it, that we want to be with each other. Students want to be back in the classroom. People want to be back in their fellowship groups, their small groups, and they're in their restaurants and in their churches and in their schools. People want that. But the lords of the cloud, as Jaron Lanier, You Are Not a Gadget, calls them, these tech barons have basically doubled down to convince us that we need what they're offering. I mean, I can't believe that Zuckerberg, as a result and coming out of COVID, has doubled down to offer the Metaverse, which won't be a substitute for physical presence, but look how cool it will be. Come on. I am not going to be moderate anymore in my opinions and cautions about what's happening as the metaverse comes our way. I mean, do we really need to meet up in a virtual cafe when we can grab a soda or spring water or coffee 2 miles away with a friend at a local coffee shop and shoot the breeze there? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think we need that virtual cafe. Is it fun? Can it be fun as something that is an addition? I think so. Obviously it can. But we need to know by now that technology is not just additive. It's ecological. Technology does not just add something new to our lives. It changes everything. Neil Postman said that. Part of his 10 principles for technological change. I think that's something we need to remember, even when we're talking, especially when we're talking about solitude, stillness, and quiet, silence. Because when we don't have any of that, we lose our moorings and we lose the sense of what it means to be human. And to be human is sacred. How do I know that? God created us in his image. That's a holy thing. Physical presence must be important. I mean, do you remember Wilson from Survival? Or what was that movie that Tom Hanks was in, where he was stranded on a desert island and he saw an old soccer ball and he named it Wilson because he was so alone. We need people. I mean, the soccer ball is not an adequate substitution, but we'll do anything if we don't have physical presence with other people. We crave it. We need it. Let's get together with others, even if it's messy, okay? Let's start with what's going on in our head and then move out into the interpersonal and start to really have some dialogue. Thanks for coming by to The Secret Place today. This is Stephanie Bennett, aka Dr. B. So glad you're here. Leave me a comment or a question, okay? Or some of your insight and let me know what you're thinking today. Have a great day. Bye now.